you so much for tuning in to this episode of Live with Momma Cuisine, sponsored by Kenmore. We're here right now at the Kenmore Studios in downtown Chicago, and you're watching probably on momtv.com as well. Thank you all for you guys who are watching on momtv.com. Hi. We have such an amazing lineup of guests today. If you are online, make sure that you follow us on Twitter. Just follow the hashtag MCShowLive. Make sure you follow me. Momma Cuisine is the Twitter handle. Chat with us about the show, everything that you're seeing today, because we have some amazing guests. Now let's talk a little bit about what we're gonna do today. Today is all about spring. It's springtime finally. It's a little bit warmer up, just a little bit here in Chicago, warmer out. And every time I think of spring, I always think about peas, sweet peas. So today's recipe is gonna be a very simple side dish, sweet peas with crispy bacon, a little bit of onions, and white wine. So I'm gonna make that for you today, show you a very simple recipe you could do at home. And of course, I know you've all been waiting about the guests that I have on today. My first guest is gonna be Sarah Nelson of Less is More Organizers. She's gonna teach us how to organize our home for spring. It's all about spring cleaning, how to organize a pantry especially. She's gonna show us how. Then we have Rob North from HGTV's Design to Sell and Craftsman here to show us a really cool project. He's gonna show me actually how to make a cutting board and what to do with it, things that you could do at home for yourself also. So let's get right on it. I'm gonna show you this quick recipe, sweet peas and bacon. I have here my Kenmore Elite cooktop. We're just gonna turn this on. Now this bacon has already been crisped up. I crisped it up a little bit earlier. And I drained some of the fat, because you know when you're making bacon crispy, there's a lot of fat that comes out of there. And we want just a couple tablespoons left. Okay, so this here is crispy. And we're always looking for really good side dishes. And this is a good one. It's a classic. Everyone has frozen peas, right, in the freezer. It's been sitting there. And now that it's spring, I know that you could get fresh peas also. So either or, you could grab at home and make this with. So while we're waiting for this to crisp up here, tell us, for you guys out there on Twitter, what your favorite pea recipes are. Let me know, what do you do with peas this time of year, or any time of year? What recipes do you have that have peas in them? Let us know. Make sure you use the hashtag MCShowLive. Chat along with us. Share your recipes especially. Speaking of recipes, we had a month-long contest with cookmore.com, which is Kenmore's new site. We had a month-long contest starting last month, ending today. We're gonna announce the winners of our Cookmore Favorite Family Recipe Contest. We have 3 winners. We had people come in, basically go to cookmore.com, upload their favorite family recipe, and have their family and friends vote. And the ones with the most voters and the most votes basically win really great prizes from Kenmore. And we're gonna announce that today with my guests on the show. Oh, it smells so good already. So now, let's see here, this thing. I just want it to get just hot enough for us. And that's important because we're gonna saute a little bit of onions in here. Get the sweetness of the onions out. The bacon is starting to smell really good, which this whole studio, guys, smells like bacon, which everyone here, we have a small audience here, they're all waiting for, for the bacon recipe to be done with. You could use pancetta if you have, or you could use serrano ham. You can use so many different ones if you don't like bacon, or just take bacon out altogether and add Parmesan cheese for that sharpness, that saltiness. Add Parmesan cheese instead. You could do that if you want it to do meatless and make it vegetarian. So let's see here, this is getting warm. So let's go ahead and add, I just had a small white onion. We're gonna crisp that up. Yeah, smells good, huh? Everyone's going, mmm. Simple ingredients. These are ingredients that are just sitting in your pantry, in your refrigerator. And you all know I always talk about that, great everyday meals, right? Simple ingredients, basic cooking techniques. And this is one of those recipes. Very simple stuff that you just grab out of the pantry, but you realize you could actually make pretty awesome food, even with the simplest of things. So you just wanna make sure now that your onions, you want it to get soft, get the sweetness out of your onions, because that's gonna lend itself to the peas, the sweet peas that we have. So you see that there. Oh God, it smells good. This smells awesome. So now what we're gonna do, I have a package of frozen peas. I add that in. You can, again, like I said, add fresh. If you have fresh peas, go for it. Frozen is just as good too. Toss that. Oh, good. Look. If you say you don't like peas, add a little bacon. I'm sure you'll like it then. It smells so good already. It smells so good already. Now at this point, I want to add just a little bit of salt. We're only going to put a little bit because the bacon, as we know, is cured. It's salty, so we don't want to add too much, okay? Just a little bit. And some pepper, as little or as much as you like. I love pepper on everything, so I'm going to put just a little bit more than the average Joe, maybe. Aren't you guys also excited about our guests today on the show? We have really cool guests. I mean, it is. It's spring. It's all about spring cleaning, spring projects in the home. So I really thought of getting some cool guests in for you guys this month, and I think that I do. I'm pretty excited about what we're going to learn today from Sarah and the projects from Rob. You guys have all seen him, I'm sure, on HGTV. Because I know I'm obsessed with that and watching home improvement shows. So he's gonna show us a cool project and talk about also his series with Craftsman. So look at that. Oh my God, that looks so good already. We're gonna add then a splash, a little bit of white wine. Now that's gonna fancy up your peas just a little bit. And you wanna scrape the bottom. Just scrape the, oh God, that wine always, right when it hits the pan, smells so good. Plus, the sweetness of the wine, right, it's very fruity, especially if you have a sweet white wine at home, then that's gonna lend itself again to the sweet onions that you sauteed, the sweet peas, and then you have the crispy, salty bacon, a lot of really good flavors. But look, it's just things that you buy very cheaply. We're gonna turn off our Kenmore stovetop here, and we're just gonna serve this up. These are things that we all have at home, right? People have bacon in their freezer, in their fridge, frozen peas, that half empty bottle of white wine, which for some people may never be. I know some of my friends never have empty wine bottles at home. So this is a really good, it's true. Okay, so here is our side dish, sweet peas and crispy bacon. So simple, so easy. You don't even really need a recipe for it. Just throw this stuff together. You have an amazing side dish. I said you could also take out the bacon and make it completely vegetarian also. So that's good. I hope you like that. Tweet me if you have any other recipes that you want to share, because we want to see recipes or upload it to cookmore.com. Now, we have our guest. Like I said, we're going to have Sarah Nelson on today. She's from lessismoreorganizers.com. She's going to show us some of her tricks on how to organize the home. So actually, I'm going to bring her up. I'm going to bring her up here. Sarah Nelson. Hi. How are you? Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, tell us about your website, lessismoreorganizers.com.
Lessismoreorganizers.com. It's the website for my company. We specialize in getting busy families organized. And essentially what an organizer does is we go into your home and we help you transform your perhaps cluttered, chaotic rooms into beautiful, functional, clutter-free spaces that work. So
there's a lot of us that need that.
Absolutely.
But see, sometimes, like, I know that I would want that service, but maybe you feel afraid, like you're gonna be judged, like this person's gonna come in here and she's gonna judge me because I'm cluttered.
Yes, absolutely not. You know, first of all, it's not my stuff,
right?
So it doesn't really, you know, I'm not judging. It's a lot easier for me to determine, you know, objectively what stays and what could go. Right. And really, everybody thinks that theirs is the worst, and it really takes a lot at this point to be the worst. So don't even worry about it. I do not judge. She's a professional.
She's seen this.
I am a professional.
She's there to help. Now tell us about your tips, because I'm very interested. It's spring cleaning. I know that I, in my house, am ready for this. Sure. Tell us what we could do.
So, you know, the kitchen is one of the most common areas to benefit from annual bouts of spring cleaning.
Yeah.
And what I wanted to do today was look at some easy ways to clean out, find space, and create order within a kitchen and a pantry. And one of the best things to do when you start any sort of organizing product, the first step is to clean out. So you're going to pull everything off of the shelves and out of the drawers, and then just going to clean it out, you know, with a paper towel rag, maybe, you know, a simple cleaner like this. There are quite a few environmentally friendly family-friendly, non-toxic, biodegradable cleaners out there that I love to use easy. And you can also use equal parts vinegar and water for the same effect. I use
Stuff that we have at home, right?
Stuff that you have at home. You know, one of the sort of themes that's going to be running through the tips is that organizing doesn't have to be expensive. So that's another, you know, inexpensive way. So once everything is cleaned out, and as you're pulling stuff out of the cabinets and the drawers, you know, look at things like expiration dates. Inevitably, you have some cans, some foods that you bought with the greatest intention, and they just never got used.
Well, I have a friend who cleaned out her spice rack and found that she had Italian seasoning from college. This is undergrad, she's a doctor. So she went to med school afterwards, but she still had it, and now she has a family with 2 kids, and they were like, I think it's time. It's not aged like wine, right?
And that's what's nice too about, you know, tying your kitchen spring cleaning efforts every year, that you don't have such an accumulation. But also, you know, let's say this winter you never use the crock pot. Maybe it's time to rethink the crock pot. It takes up a lot of space. So pull everything out, and just removing the things that you no longer use or need is going to create some space.
So
some other great tips. Inevitably, people have maybe a drawer full, a cabinet full, an ugly pile of plastic grocery bags. A really simple way to condense it is to take one of these Kleenex boxes, pull out the Kleenexes or use them all up, shove as many plastic bags as you can in this. This has 20 plastic bags, and I could have done more.
Tip, and I need probably 5 of these because I have gazillions of plastic bags under the sink.
Well, what's great about this system is you probably don't need any more than 1 box, and if you do, if you happen to go through them, you're always going back to the grocery store. It's really easy to refill. So keep it small and easy.
That is a great tip.
So another great way to find some space, particularly in the refrigerator, is to use a permanent marker. I love keeping these in the kitchen, and if you go and you open up a jar of sauce, and you know you're supposed to only have it open for 7 days, but with all the chaos involved in raising a family, running a household, who can remember? So you just write very clearly on the top, opened, and the date, and then there's no question, you know when to get rid of it, you know how long you can use it.
You never get that.
Simple. So once everything is cleared out, and we've made some extra space, let's put things back in a neat and orderly fashion. Labels are one of my favorite ways to organize families. These are great. These are, I got it, you know, a major office supply store, and I really like these because they're chalkboard labels. So if you're refilling the jars, I know what I like to do is buy things in bulk, and you're refilling the jars, you don't have to remove the labels. All you got to do is, you know, erase the chalkboard. And they also have a dry erase kind, does the same thing.
I love these because that's what I hate about labeling stuff, is that I know that I have to relabel it. Then you have to take it out. Then you're like doing this with your nail and trying to scrape it off. But this takes
so easy, and everybody can read it. I know if you have really young children that are learning to read, perhaps one of the first words they read is bulgur. You just never know. Easy.
So how about this tip here?
And this is a great in-drawer organizer. Many people have drawer organizers for their silverware, but you should really use it for all of your all the different smaller utensils within your kitchen. This has long slots, and it's designed for long spatulas and spoons and things like that. I like to separate drawers by cooking utensils, flatware, serverware, so it's just easier when you cook to reach for something you're not
searching everywhere for them.
Yes, absolutely.
That is great, and you could put, especially if you love to entertain, even if you don't like to entertain, you want to put things away where they are and not mixed in with your everyday stuff,
And what's really, you know, what's really nice about the labels and this, it's lots of people are using the kitchen, and this lets everybody know where things are, where they go to help you put them back. It's a great system.
And you have some tips also for our cabinets, basically. So let's show us that. We're gonna move over here, because you have some great tips for this.
Sure, and this is a little organizing tool that when I finally got one of these, it made me so much happier to use my kitchen, and I love to cook. And I had, which probably most people have, this really unwieldy stack of pots and, or not pots, but pans and cooking trays and sheets and all this stuff, and inevitably you need the one on the bottom, and you take it out, and there's all sorts of noise, and you're worried you're gonna wake somebody up, and it's just a mess. So this is a vertical pan organizer, really easy to find. I like that this one is sort of coated in plastic, so it's not going to rub against any of your, you know, Teflon trays. And yeah, you stack things vertically. It takes up a lot less space. You only have to move 1, maybe 2. You know, you see there's a lot more space in there for additional trays. It's a great space saver for the
And
kitchen.
then you have frying pans too that you want to organize. I mean, it's just so important to be
Yes.
able to cook faster. A lot of people say
Yes.
they hate to cook because it takes a long time.
Yes.
So if this will help you find your tools much easier,
Yes.
that's a lot less time to spend. It'll
Yes.
make you move faster, cook faster. So
Absolutely.
that's great. Now
Absolutely.
this
Yes.
is awesome too.
And this is a lot of times the best way to find space in the kitchen is to go vertical. And oftentimes we have these cabinets where we filled the bottom layer and you have additional space. And this is just a simple riser. It comes with lots of different colors and materials. And in this case, we're using it to store some cans, but it can also be used, you know, a great place to use it is actually under the sink where there's often a lot of vertical height.
Yes.
You know, maybe you put sponges and smaller things on the bottom, but then on top, maybe some cleaners,
Right.
things like that. It's also great for bowls, maybe bowls on the
Your
bottom
little
and plates on
plateware,
top.
yeah.
Anything you can, even they have ones that you have double stack it depending on how tall your cabinet is.
That is great because
So
there are a
nice.
lot of cabinets who, let's say, don't have the notches, you know, where you can put the
Right.
shelves, or you just don't know where to get them or whatever.
Right.
This is just,
This
it
is
just helps.
it's really
really
simple.
helps. Well,
Yes.
thank you so much for all the
My
tips.
pleasure.
Now tell us then, again, tell the viewers about your site. And before you leave, I want to help me announce the
Sure.
first winner of our cookbook contest. Now tell us again the website and
Sure.
where they can find you.
Sure, so my website is lessismoreorganizers.com, and I visit families in the Chicago area. And if you're outside of Chicago, you can sign up for my monthly newsletter, which is also, the sign up is on my website. And you can also follow me on Facebook, which is lessismoreorganizers.com, or Facebook lessismoreorganizers.com. And I often post tips as well as some of my favorite products, before and after pictures. And that's where people can also write into me to ask me questions.
Right.
I'm always happy to give a good free tip here and there.
That's awesome. So
yes.
make sure that you follow Sarah, lessismoreorganizers.com. Now before you go, our first winner, our third place winner for the Cook More, Can More, Momma Cuisine Favorite Family Recipe Contest is our third place is the Quick Fix Turkey Chili Recipe by
Cindy H.
Cindy H. Yay, Cindy! She won an indoor grill from Kenmore. So Cindy, I hope that you're watching. Congratulations on your win. Make sure you tweet us. Let us know if you're out there. But we'll get a hold of you and make sure that you get your prize. Thank you so much for participating in this really cool contest that we have. Now our next guest, I'm very excited for our next guest here. I know we were all just talking earlier and, before the show, but Robert North, you've seen him many times before in HGTV's Designed to Sell. He's here today, which is so exciting because he's here. He's going to show me how to make a really cool project, also his projects with Craftsman and his series with them. Before I bring him on, make sure you watch this video.
I'm Master Craftsman Rob North. Hey, I'm Rob North. Hey, I'm Rob North. Hey, I'm Rob North. I'm Rob North. And today I'm going to show you how to build this 45-bottle wine rack. And today I'm going to show you how to build your own custom wooden sandbox for your youngins. And today I'm going to show you how to take an old toolbox and turn it into a new fish tank. Today, I'm going to show you how to build a fire pit. And this isn't for beginners, but if you're up for it, I'll show you my cards and reveal step by step how we did this. Before you do anything, put some safety glasses on to protect those eyeballs. You know, there are two ways to carve a pumpkin. Like this, or like this. All right, all the pieces are cut. Let's connect all the dots and put this thing together.
Hopefully he's a better master carpenter than he is drawer.
I never claimed to be a very good drawer. Once you get this thing put together, you have to take care of the edges. To do that, it's called a flame finish. Now, that wasn't so hard, was it? I'm Rob North, and that is how you get it done.
And everyone, Rob North. Hey, how are ya?
Thank you for having me.
Wow, thanks for being here. This is so exciting.
So, yeah, I'm very excited. Very excited.
So tell us first what we're gonna do today. What project I'm gonna get dirty.
You're not really gonna get dirty.
Okay, I'm not gonna get that.
I'd like for you to get dirty, but it's not gonna happen today. So, basically, when you asked me about doing this show, I was trying to think of a project we could do that'd be quick.
Yeah.
And that the viewers at home could learn how to do, and wouldn't be too much for folks to learn.
Right.
And so the first thing that popped into my head, you know, given our setting, was a cutting board.
Yes.
So I went ahead and I built it, and the only thing we have to do now is put some finish on it. And so what we're gonna do, this is actually called a drying point. And it's just a simple piece of plywood with some screws through the bottom of it. So you can put your material right on top of it, and that's gonna let you kind of elevate the material so you can work
so
on both
it's
sides
not
of it.
touching.
Exactly.
So like the nails are raised or screws are raised.
Exactly, the screws keep the material off of here.
It's not my
So big, just a
Give
very
me some
little
words.
bit. That's okay. That's okay. Language is,
Technical words.
you know, we'll figure it out together. So
Awesome.
yeah, these little points basically just keep the material up, and
Okay.
they're so small that any indentation in the finish won't be seen.
Okay.
So that's kind of a
Cool.
little trick of the trade. So what we have here is this cutting board that I built for you, and as you can see, it takes up a little bit of real estate. It's got a bit of size to
Yeah.
it, right? And from what I understand, chefs like size.
Yes.
Right? It always comes.
Size matters.
I'm not sure.
These
I didn't mean
guests
anything
over
by that,
here,
but,
I don't know. It's a family show, people.
It's a family show. Let's keep this thing G, shall we?
Look at this G. We don't want FTC calling
Yeah.
them.
So all we're going to do now is put some finish on it, and
Okay.
what we're going to be using is a salad bowl oil or a bamboo oil, same stuff.
Okay.
And it's a food-safe oil, but you have to make sure you use something like this,
Right.
as opposed to like a polyurethane or a train that passes by as we speak. You know, it's in Chicago.
It's
you know,
Chicago.
that's how we get down. But yeah, you want to use a food-safe oil because anything else could potentially poison you.
Right.
Don't want that.
So any project that you're doing with wood that you want to use for food, this is what you got to do.
Got to use this stuff.
Okay.
Got to use this stuff.
Got it.
And speaking of which, you have to use a wood that's safe to work with.
Okay.
As opposed to like an oily exotic, which would be like a wenge or a szechuan or a sapele or a African
Where
mahogany.
do you get that? Who knows? But this, you said, what wood are we using
This
here?
is cherry.
So
Here,
th-
you see your rag.
Thank you.
This is cherry.
Uh-oh, here we go,
There you
guys.
go.
Here we go.
And just slather it on.
Mama's working on this. Okay, so.
There you go. And just go with the grain.
With the
We just want
grain.
to soak it in there. And as you can notice, there are a couple of knots in here. I mean, it's wood, you know, it
Uh-huh. Right.
happens. It's imperfections.
It's pretty, actually.
You like that? Well,
like
that's okay because it's the bottom of the board. And so if you're going to have
Okay.
imperfections, you want to put them on the bottom, right? Right?
But I don't
You
have
know?
enough oil.
That's because you need more.
I need more
There you
oil. I need more oil.
We don't want to be shy with this stuff. We want to really get it on
Okay.
there. This stuff is going to penetrate the wood and seal it.
Oh, wait.
And
with the
what?
grain, with the grain.
With the grain
Give me
initially.
wrong. Okay.
We just kind of want to get it on there, and then we're going to go across the grain to really get that stuff down inside of there.
Okay.
There you go. There you go.
This is fun.
Yeah, you like that?
This
You should have
is-
came in there and built it with me.
You guys saw the picture I tweeted out earlier. I'm like, I'm putting Rob to work before our show.
And if you folks want to know how to do this at home, we're going to have a video coming out very soon on how to make your own cutting board.
Yeah, tell us while we're doing this. Tell us about what you're doing with Craftsman, because that's some really exciting stuff, and
Yeah,
people
you know,
can see you there now.
I love this job. Craftsman basically pays me to have fun every day.
Nice.
Not
a bad
bad,
gig.
right? Not a bad trade-off.
gig, right?
No. So what I've been doing with Craftsman for the last couple of years is, number one, I'm their spokesman.
Mm-hmm.
So I make a lot of product demonstrations. We go all around the country doing different things, different events.
Mm-hmm.
And we've done a few shows together. One was called Screwed, where we took this young man who knew absolutely nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, literally, he didn't know. He couldn't spell anything. And I'm joking. The guy was actually pretty smart. But he knew nothing about the trades. And so
Right.
my job was to train him up. And then they took him and dropped him in these crazy remote locations. I think they dropped him in the desert. They dropped him in a swamp.
So he's like on survival mode.
Oh yeah, on a mountaintop, and he had to basically use the skills that I taught him, combined with the help of the Craftsman community, to get himself out of these situations.
Oh, that's so fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. It was. He had some pretty harrowing times. So now we want to make sure we get some on the side. This is called ingrain.
Okay.
The end of the board.
Okay.
Ingrain. See that
Ingrain.
language? I told you you get it, didn't I?
I'm gonna be a pro at this in no time.
Now you really want to put a lot on there because that ingrain soaks that oil up like you wouldn't believe.
Okay.
So just really get that in there. Don't worry about it dripping down or anything. We're gonna rub everything in. We
So
just wanna
where
soak that in.
can, to get this board, if people want to make their own cutting boards at home, do they just go to a regular kind of home store, or?
No, you know what? Now you can't. Of course you can go buy a cutting board anywhere.
No, I mean, but like to make it their own, where would they get this kind of
The
wood?
wood. Oh, well, you have to go to a hardwood lumber store.
Lumber store.
Now you can't go
They have
like to
lumber
your
stores, that's right.
average home center because they just don't carry that type of wood.
Okay.
So you need to go to a home center. One of my favorites here locally is a place called Owl Hardwood and Lumber out in Oak Lawn. Hey, what's up, guys?
Shout out.
But yeah, it's one of my favorite places. They have a huge variety of wood and of varying thicknesses. And as you can see, this is really thick.
Yeah, I
And
love
so
this.
most places just won't carry anything that thick. We can spin that thing around. There you go. That's the advantage of having this.
Yeah,
the
it makes
finish
it
point
much
relief, right?
easier. Yeah.
Keep rubbing when you're done. Here,
Okay, here, I need more oil.
you got a lot of real estate to cover.
Yeah, because this is really cool. And like, what other things can you do? Do you have any ideas maybe to personalize this if they had it at home?
It's funny you should say that. Because what you could do is what I did for you.
Oh, look at that,
You
guys.
like that?
That's cute.
I thought you might like that. Can you guys
have
see
to
that?
See. I don't know. Maybe we have to show it. I don't
Here,
know if
let
the
me
cameras
hold
can
this
get
up. Let me hold this up.
it. Look what he did.
You guys like that?
Nice surprise.
You guys like that?
I love it. Thank you, Rob.
And so we need to slather some oil on this side now.
Yeah, oil it up good now. Now.
Oh, now you want to really get it oil. Okay.
Don't mess us up now.
Let's take care of it now. A minute ago, I was like, just slap it on there. It'll be all right. Now you want to take care of it.
How cool. So yeah, so you could do things like with your family
Absolutely.
name or your crest or for a friend.
Absolutely. And it's
What
an
a
easy
cool-
project, and it takes simple tools.
Yeah.
And like I said, now you asked me about how you can learn how to do this. We're actually going to be producing a video on how to make your own personalized cutting board
Right.
very soon. But it's a very easy process, and like I said, it just takes some simple tools and a little bit of
Yeah.
know-how. And I'll show you how to do it. That's what I do here.
That is
But to go back to your other question, yeah, we did Screw. We have this series called, it's not called Ask Rob, it's called Hey Rob.
Hey Rob.
That's the name of my show. Thank you. It's called Hey Rob. And basically what folks can do is they can write into us via the Craftsman Facebook community and ask questions as to, you know, how do I do this? How do I do that?
Right.
You know, I'm building my house and I'm having a problem with windows or whatever.
Right.
Because I'm a real carpenter. I'm not
That's for real.
I'm not just a pretty face here. Don't let the smooth taste fool you.
Put Rob to work. Make sure that you log on to Craftsman on YouTube. Check him out there. Go to Hey Rob, and ask him questions so that he can
Absolutely.
help and watch for the video for this. Thank you so much, Rob, for coming on the show. But before you go, we gotta mention our second and first place winners for the
I've been
Kenmore
looking forward to this
Cookmore
part.
contest. So
'Cause I
this
like
is
announcing things.
Okay, so you could be my announcer.
Okay,
You could be
okay.
announcer. So our second place winner for the 12-piece cookware
Hold on,
set.
hold on.
From Kenmore and Cookmore's favorite family recipe with Momma Cuisine is the baked omelet from
Sarah P.
Sarah P.
Congratulations,
You
Sarah P.
won. And the grand prize, now this is a big one.
Okay,
We
all right,
need
here we go.
everyone
Here we
in
go.
here.
Everybody now, everybody, we need hands on thighs here. Hands on thighs.
The Kenmore Elite Mixer, the grand prize, first prize winner for the Cookmore.com favorite family recipe contest with Momma Cuisine is the chicken and rice recipe by...
That's an alias.
This is an alias.
She must have warrants. Because I don't know what that name is.
Leah Gadu.
No, that is not what that is. That's like Lugadoo.
Lugadoo.
I don't know what that is.
Leah Gadu, that's you. Thank you so much for entering and winning this contest. Thank you so much, Rob, for being
you.
here. And my guest also, Sarah Nelson, for being here. Make sure you check them out. And tune in to next month's episode, broadcast of Live with Momma Cuisine, sponsored by Kenmore and Mom TV on May 14th, right here on MommaCuisine.com. We'll see you guys then. Thank you for tuning in.